And here we see the P-Shad Acorn man has decided to play head of security at 1 in the morning because he cannot properly sleep. This is a terrible decision, one that he will come to regret in due time. As you see here, the Tider has been beaten down by one of the officers in his department. You see, Bitterbread, the Tider being beaten down, had a couple of detective items upon them. They've been beaten into critical condition and are now dying. They resisted arrest, or seizure of the coat, and now have been beaten down. However, for some fucking reason, Dannon decides to bring them to security. What the fuck, Dannon? Dannon, you need to get your fucking dying criminals to medical before I have to arrest you for fucking murder. What the fuck, Dannon? Where the fuck are you? That motherfucker is dying. What the fuck, bro? This will, of course, prove to be a proper sign of what is to come for the rest of this shift. And here we see the head of security encounter their first murder. You see, Avery Card's head has been removed, and Dak is reporting that Samuel Comet Rider dragged it into space and left it there. We shall go blue alert, as is the proper way to handle a murder. This is a confirmed murder, and as such, based on the reports from Dak, we are going to arrest Samuel Comet Rider for prevention of revival. The head of security has ordered their detainment, and the logs must be updated. However, we are firstly going to be looking into science, and as the report asks, I must simply refuse. But you know what? He should probably not go alone into maintenance, so he attempts to requisition 2 security officers into medical, or into maintenance, to assist him. However, the security officers are fucking headless are headless chickens, and make no attempt to follow the head of security. So alone, into the maintenance tunnels, he must attempt to go, before requisitioning a security officer properly into the maintenance areas of the station. A quick search of mains, which is typical for these murder cases, reveals absolutely nothing of value, unfortunately. A quick trip to science reveals Samuel Comet Rider is in fact being arrested, in the process of it at least. And the research director is also here, and refusal does in fact make it look worse. So, Samuel, you need to come to security to help us clear this up. Now, at this point, the head of security does in fact have a quick couple of thoughts. You see, it is very, very much likely that Dak actually did this crime, as there is no real evidence pointing to Samuel. For some fucking reason, the research director picks up the ejector. This is because they are fucking stupid. You see, the head of security follows the same rule 1 as security, which is that command members are all fucking stupid, until proven otherwise. The head of security, knowing this, is also aware of the fact that he is fucking stupid. And the DNA on this shows almost nothing of real value. Now, unfortunately, the head of security must go and deal with the golem, so he does not have time to consider why the research director picked up this item. But as of right now, he has some business to attend to. The head of security is going to ask Samuel Comet Rider what the fuck happened, as the head of security is not fully convinced by Dak's story of just happening to see Samuel do it. Unfortunately, the head of security receives a disturbing report that the Warden, one of the few people with armory access, instead of assisting the security officers in arming, is in fact using their highly valuable energy shotgun to attack the golem in science. Essentially, ward loosing. We have prisoners and an armory to deal with. Why the fuck are they out there? It appears that I need to deal with this now, because the warden is fucking stupid. Who the fuck is Goob? Okay, the warden is now dead, and I need to fire them. Now, when I said I will fire them, I meant this as in I am likely to fire them. I reacted a little prematurely because I'm dealing with 5 fucking things at once. I'm sorry, the head of security did. I am not the head of security. This is a nature documentary. And the head of security believes in second chances and the opportunity to explain themselves. So they're going to invite them in to explain why the fuck they decided to ward loose and all that shit. The detective is, unfortunately, not free for an interrogation for some godforsaken reason. So, in interest of this documentary keeping short, a simple deal was requested of Samuel. They would take a tracking implant, and if they removed it, they would be found guilty of prevention of revival, while the security team formally investigates what the fuck happened involving the decapitation of Avery. As such, the head of security is now going to relax and attempt to solve other problems. As the head of security is explaining these terms to Samuel, who agrees to them, the warden enters. The warden asks a pretty expected question of why the fuck they are being fired. Now, before the head of security can actually answer the warden, they decide to do something fucking stupid and shoot the ever-loving shit out of the head of security. This results in the critical conditioning of multiple people, and thanks to the soft crit system, they are now then shot to death by the head of security and another officer. Now, the head of security must request a hand from Dan and Lee, who is helpfully able to take the head of security, who is severely injured, to the medical department. Or the paramedic, who is in fact right there. For some fucking reason, the warden decided that shooting the head of security and getting perma-brigged was a good idea. Because yes, they are being perma-brigged for extremely obvious reasons, such as the fact that they committed 2 murders and several other things that the head of security is going to make up because he is a dick. The head of security, while in medical, is once again attempting to explain the terms to Samuel, who accepts these terms. They will not be uncuffed until they are trackered, though, due to the fact that they cannot be, lost track of. And the captain does something very helpful. They, in their infinite wisdom, decide to promote someone to the head of security's secondary position, the warden. As such, the captain is now considered as not stupid because they're very, very, very helpful by promoting another warden to the position. You see, the head of security is also going to perma-brig the previous warden for attempted murder of multiple people, including a completely unrelated research assistant in Samuel Common Rider. And, as well, they use a deadly weapon to do this. In addition, capital negligence is a crime that they could be charged with, but I am instead going to charge them with the very basic thing of bullshit I will make up because I am a dick. Because Class 5s require a formal trial, and I have been bullshitted by every single fucking member of security and the magistrate pulling that bullshit of not doing a Class 5 just to avoid a trial. And you know what? Shitsec begets shitsec. So shitsec will now become shitsec back to counter the shitsec. Shitsec begets shitsec, and so shitsec shall shitsec the shitsec. Now, those words are not in the Bible. The head of security, before deciding to toss someone into jail for the rest of the shift, gives them a chance to provide a reason why they shouldn't be perma-brigged for their, double murder. And instead of responding with an actual, reason why they shouldn't be, they instead respond with, "It would be nice if you shot me instead so I didn't need to talk to you." Okay. I suppose that means you just do want to be permit. Alright then, that's no longer my problem. Alright, let's do a quick bullshitting of max sentencing and then throw them in jail for the rest of the shift. As the head of security does seriously think that the warden will break out and attempt to kill them again. Because obviously, like, their initial response to being fired was to immediately shoot them with the most powerful shotgun in the game. It's instead of waiting for a proper response to why am I being fired. So yeah, let's just not do that. Let's just not let them out. That's a bad idea. The head of security has still absolutely no evidence to suggest that Sam or Dak did the prevention of revival. However, the fact that all of the evidence pointing towards Sam doing it comes from one person, and Sam does not typically have access into space. This provides the head of security with a belief that Dak may be the one responsible, and attempting to frame Sam Comet Rider. As such, the detective is going to be placed undercover. The detective will pose as an engineer with a fake firing and attempt to get closer to Dak on the basis that they want to kill me. But in actuality, the detective still works for me and is in fact undercover, working to expose Dak's evil deeds and gather evidence. Yes. Anyway, real quick announcement about the previous warden going insane, and the dead has decided to be drunk as fuck, so he's fired. Yep. Quick, hang it up, pissed off, you're fired. Guy here, fucking piece of shit, fucking detective. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Let me fucking take this. Take the fucking radio. Oi, keep this on you, and if anyone like fucks with you, say Chungus into it, and you'll be good. Yeah. If you're in trouble, we'll come bail you out. Yeah. Go. Alright, anyway, yeah, you're being fired. Fucking useless detective, bruh. Can't believe it, you fucking alcohol. Oh, hey, Cuba's knuckle dusters. Let's throw them in. Also, Erebus, you have been reported as doing a criminal activity. Yes, you were reported, killing someone. So, what's up with that? By them, actually, it was the reporter that reported it. Oh, they ran away. Well, you mind explaining what the hell happened in, medical? Mind telling me what was going on? Wait, no, it's a nature documentary. The head of security attempts to ask the doctor about what happened in medical, as the reporter reported them committing a murder. However, the head of security, the head of security, fucking hell, I'm drunk. The head of security attempts to find an explanation that lets them not do anything. The captain, unaware of the detective's, fake firing, instead attempts to, one of the doctors just, when he reported that smacked our doors 10 times before an intern let him in, stole an analyzer, looked at me treating our paramedic who was poisoned randomly, and claimed I was poisoning while actively treating a poison source. Yeah, okay. Anyway, make me come, how do I play this? Sorry, this is an extra documentary. The head of security has no fucking... The head of security has no idea how to play this. The head of security will attempt now to explain to the Cap what the fuck is actually going on. Cap, the captain is now made aware of the fact that there's a sting operation. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to go in on this, Captain. You can just ask me why I fired them, and it'd be better. And then like a good yes. Fucking insane alcoholism like they vomited all over the bar or something. Yes, that is the story the head of security is making up. If it's not clear, I'm very bad at doing the nature documentary voice. The head of security is now in a meeting with the scientists from... Acting RD isn't the person they say they are. What do you mean? Wait a minute. If the viewer, you will recall, earlier in the shift, the research director picked up a syndicate-branded injector. This is very, very interesting. The head of security now believes that the Borg that martyred into the Warden's office, which, yes, that's the cause. If you saw the Borg go in there, that's what exploded the Warden. You can now understand just how this occurred. You see, the research director is in fact an acting research director and is in fact evil. This was hinted at earlier in the shift. However, the head of security being overstressed with idiot Warden, several useless security officers, and several other transpirings, that some of which were not interesting enough to put into this documentary, did not notice this or have the time to properly address why the fuck the research director attempted to steal an injector. Very interesting. But now the research director must be arrested, for they have committed this crime. Let's try and play it cool. Maybe I can get the research director to admit to it. However, they absolutely need to be searched. So I'm going to crawl into here. Hello, Artie. Need to check around Psy. Nope. Okay, no, they are not even hesitating. Lucky for me, I have an armored suit on, and we both miss every shot, and I do not miss every shot, and my armor keeps me alive throughout my incredible skill issue. Well, research director is now pretty obviously the gibber of the member of the security engineering department. Sorry, the head of security has defeated the research director in combat. The head of security was in fact very, very skilled. Stop running away, you fucking freak. The research director had no chance against the very robust head of security. Yes. The mime has now been arrested as well because they were there when this happened, so they need to be, like, fucking, taken. Anyway, I need staff at Psy to assist. Please come to Science to assist me. Right, Mime, thank you for cooperating. However, the head of security cannot let you go because you were literally just there. Hi, Falric. You will be searched and released once it's clear you have absolutely no relation to the research director. Hi, Sam. You were right. Hi, Sam. But yes, the research director has been eliminated and taken care of. A demotion? No. The research director has clearly committed prevention of revival, and as such, they must not be allowed to exit the science or the security department ever again. Simple. How many fucking times do I have to ask for people to show the fuck up to Science to assist me? Jesus Christ. My God. Lazy motherfuckers. Holy shit. I don't care if George is dead. The fucking, like... I do not care who George that a scientist managed to give themselves because they are an idiot. I care that my fucking department still has yet to show the fuck up. Holy fucking shit. Oh, you people are fucking brain dead. Oh my god. Why are there cartridges in your weird? Anyway, can we fucking get the fuck over here? Holy fucking shit. Okay, after waiting for 20 minutes for a security officer to show the fuck up to search the mime, I can now jail the research director. Unfortunately, they have an uplink implanter in them, in their bag. So, all my officers are fucking useless. I still have yet to promote a new warden because the previous one got gibbed. So, now here's the play. You can hire it if I will hire this guy who has wanted to be hired to security for all shift if they can complete one fucking simple task, which will, in fact, make them better than half by force because they cannot respond to me telling them to show the fuck up to science, like once. Genuinely, what the fuck? Simple. I am going to we're gonna send you to medical. We're gonna give you a task to implant check the research director for an uplink implant. Once you successfully do the fucking thing where you research the goddamn uplink, or you get the fucking uplink implant out of the fucking, sorry, this is a nature documentary. Once the head of security tells them that if they are able to get the uplink out of them, then they will become a warden. Because they are, in fact, doing the one thing that the head of security has asked them to do, which will, in fact, make them better than every single security officer in their force. Okay, 3 problems all at the same time. Nature documentary. The head of security is facing 3 problems at the same time. 1, they need to tell Lucius that the detective is in fact good. However, Goob is now stuck at the wall. This prompts the head of security to beat the clown, as the only thing that the head of security can do to relieve stress is to beat the clown. Come here, clown. You will now be beaten by the head of security. The clown was warned previously about causing more problems, and so the head of security beats the clown. You see, clown beating is a time-honored tradition of the security department. So we're just going to have to deal with that entire problem in there, as the bolts will not work. Problem. Fucking Pilk. Pilk has been... The head of security has slipped himself on the Pilk because he is fucking brain dead. The head of security, with the title promoted to Warden, in fact, has believed that the CMO implant checked the research director, who is in the rig at the moment. You see, the CMO was the one who performed the check, and the NTR is drunk as fuck and useless as shit. Unfortunately for everyone involved, the cadet especially, a cadet has shown up. The head of security begs the cadet to tell them they don't need training. Unfortunately for the head of security and the cadet does need training, and the head of security is dealing with far too much bullshit to properly train them themselves. As such, we need an officer to train the cadet. You see, above all else, the duty of the head of the department, when there's a new person in their department who needs training, is to find someone to train them, or to train them themselves. This is utmost important. If the head of security fails to do this, he is cringe, and not only that, the admins of the server may in fact get a little bit miffed. Obviously the admins aren't going to get all up in their ass over the very, very basic shit of doing their fucking jobs, and the fact that they are very stressed will come into play. However, the head of security also believes that the cadet being trained is above all else. This is both for in-character reasons, as cadets will cause problems if not properly trained, but also for out-of-character reasons, because any new player on the server should be of utmost concern to everyone involved. You see, a regular player leaving will happen eventually anyway. Eventually, a player on a server, if there's not enough new content, or if the direction of the server diverges significantly from the original intention or reasons that the head of security, that the veteran player joined, they will leave of their own volition. However, new players to the server need to be treated properly to ensure that they understand the vibe, to be sure that they know how to do their job, and to be sure that they're allowed to have fun and interact with the mechanics and setting of the server. If they are not provided this, then the server will eventually die. This is why all servers, regardless of their role or intent or whatever, need to have training new players and making sure they have fun as the utmost concern. If a mechanic is too hostile to a new player unreasonably and without warning, and prevents them from enjoying the game, that mechanic should simply not exist. This is the reason why waits for intern roles to become antagonists and to become targets of antagonists is lower than every other role on the station. It can still do it to ensure that metagaming about interns not being antags and, not being antag targets doesn't take place. But at the same time, it also makes it so that it is unlikely to occur to help avoid the issue of new players logging off the server. However, at this moment, they are being trained, and as such, the head of security has done their job. And the head of security, the editor of this video, who is also the producer and director and whatever have you, is currently viewing the Tropic situation and has done a review of the entire footage. The head of security, the producer, the director, and everyone involved still have no fucking idea what the hell the entire Tropics of Rage problem is. What the actual fuck has this guy done all day to have everyone up their ass about it? Like, genuinely, what the fuck? They've done, I have no fucking clue what they've done. What is this? Why is he here? Thankfully, the security shift is ending, and the head of security can go back and fucking sleep, as after this shift, he's 100% tired enough to go to sleep. Luckily for everyone as well, apparently the CMO was too drunk to perform the implant check properly, and instead genetically damaged themselves in a complete failure of an attempt to properly extract the implant. Very intelligent. Unfortunately, we have no time to collect the dead research director who attempted to use a scram implant to escape from jail by taking it out of their uplink. You see, the scram implant sucks dick. That shit is fucking garbage. Do not use the scram implant. And luckily, this nature documentary has been sponsored by several oil tycoons who are using this documentary to lie to the populace to pretend that their incredible destruction of the environment is in fact not actually damaging it at all. You see, the environment is not actually being damaged at all, you understand. With the environment not being damaged at all by the insane amount of things they're pulling out. And these oil barons are Spine X, now the Spider, Silent Great Gamer, Brady Paws, Von Sierra, I think, Seth Myers, Trash Queen Lily, Carrioc, Qua Pereira, Mr. X the Awesome, Snore, Laltart, Flood Halo Warzone, Aspartame the First Full Paradox, Rosa Katarina, Botboard, Biffed, Taka Sedver, Modern Jedi, Mr. X the Awesome. Wait, no, he's not here anymore. Taka Sedver, Modern Jedi, Dubbo, Just a Period, Floodsick, Headlow, Wakefield H, User Face System, King Northstar, and Film and Timo. These oil tycoons have supported the show, and as such, are now in this, thing. Don't worry too much about it. As such, the oil tycoons are now properly satiated, and we may now resume to, in fact, doing incredibly stupid things upon Space Station 14. Goodbye, everyone. And also, beat the roboticist, because I straight up, whole ass, did not see that the fucking captain allowed them to be in here. I straight up did not see that. I'm not gonna lie. I will be so real.